In today's video we are going to explore some ideas that will enable you to understand why some strategies work and some fail over time, and this has nothing to do with the technical or mathematical aspects of the strategy. We are talking about a more abstract idea that comes before techniques and risk management. By the end of this video you will have a clearer idea of how to identify a strategy that is supposed to work and a strategy that is destined to fail. Many if not all of the traders that are starting out are completely blind to this sort of subtlety. They think that every strategy exists in the same realm of quality. What's even worse than that is the idea that the strategy doesn't really matter for the trader, and it's all about how the trader uses the strategy. This is obviously false for 1,000 different reasons. The point is that some strategies are destined to fail no matter how well they are applied, and some strategies will act as some sort of insurance policy regardless of the lack of skill of who's applying it to the market. In order to clear the fog of misinformation that hovers over this subject, it's necessary for us to grasp the idea of the spectrum of exposure, which is based on the work of the Lebanese mathematician and risk analyst called Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Nassim wrote a lot about the idea of fragile and anti-fragile systems, and this is the key idea for us to unlock the problem that was exposed in the beginning of the video. Nassim says that when an object is highly susceptible to external forces, we tend to call it fragile. For example, if you want to send a package to a friend in another country, and this package cannot be beaten or dented in any way, the label of the package will contain the word fragile. The great author then asks us to think about the opposite of fragile. Most people think about something along the lines of solid or robust, but that's technically not accurate. The opposite of fragile is anti-fragile, which is different than robust. This is where the idea of the exposure spectrum came from. It's not just the opposition between fragile and robust that matters. It's a spectrum that has fragile and anti-fragile in each extreme, and the idea of robust is in the middle. To make this completely clear, a fragile system is something that is highly vulnerable to external forces and it will collapse easily. A robust system is something that will be indifferent to external forces, and the anti-fragile system, which is the precise technical opposite of the fragile system, is something that will benefit from the external forces like chaos and randomness instead of being damaged by them like the fragile system would. If you have been trading for a while, you probably have an idea of where this is going because this concept transposes itself perfectly to the idea of trading strategies. We obviously have fragile strategies that are highly susceptible to collapse even by minor changes in the market. Things like moving average crossover systems, strategies that have 20 different indicators on the chart, strategies based on esoteric ideas, and the list goes on almost indefinitely. We also have the robust strategies, which are the strategies that allow traders to be profitable in the long term because they can support the storms of the market. The robust strategies have built-in safety structures that enable the trader to protect himself not only against the market, but also against his own psychological flaws. This sort of thing is completely absent in a fragile strategy because the main focus of those strategies is the mere technique, and the complete ignorance of how the iterations of technique behave over time. Robust strategies are obviously superior to fragile strategies for these reasons, and good examples of robust strategies are the fractal flow strategy, the market maker strategy, and the Newtonian trading strategy. All of these built-in safety features and the preoccupation with human error across time is present in these strategies. Observe that there still is one element of the spectrum that we are missing, and that is the anti-fragile system. An anti-fragile trading strategy would be a strategy that would benefit from the chaotic motion of the market, the unpredictability of market conditions, and sudden shifts in volatility. This obviously sounds too good to be true precisely because it is. An anti-fragile strategy would be considered by most people as the actual holy grail of the markets, but we all know that's just a dream not worth dreaming about. The best that a trader can have is a robust strategy, which is the one that will go through the storms of the market and the storms of the human mind without collapsing. There is a subtle example of the exposure spectrum inside one of our methods called fractal flow strategy. Even though this strategy is robust, we can point out to anti-fragile elements that compose it. For example, one of the core techniques of this strategy is the study of fractal momentum through fractal and hybrid divergences of second and third degrees, and from those ideas, the fractal candle pattern arises. The amazing thing is that the fractal candle only exists because of an inherent flaw in the way that price charts are constructed and momentum indicators like the relative strength index are calculated. This basically means that the fractal candle, which is the center of the fractal flow strategy, uses a flaw of the system to benefit from this same system. In that way, the fractal candle is an anti-fragile concept. In a broader view, the fractal flow strategy is still robust and not anti-fragile because it englobes a variety of other aspects that cannot be pushed to the far right of the spectrum, so the label of robust is the best that can be achieved, but it is interesting to see the fractal candle concept in this different perspective. If you wish to learn about any of the 3 robust strategies that were mentioned, please visit the Fractal Flow website available in the YouTube card and the video description. If you enjoyed the video and wish to support the creation of these free videos in the future, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comment below. Thank you for watching.